Hello, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be actually reacting to the announcements from D23 that happened quite recently. Now, I'm excited to jump into this. I think I've heard about some of these, at least just off of Instagram, but I really want to take a look at the actual announcements. It looks like it's about 10 minutes long for the actual video. From what I know, I mean, we're hearing about like Werewolf by Night. I think there was something about Secret Invasion. Apart from that, I'm not certain on anything else, so we'll just have to wait and see what exactly is going to be shown here. That being said, let's get into the video.
And we're going to start with perhaps
There we go.
the biggest thing we've ever done. Ladies and gentlemen, our co-writer and director of Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Ryan Coogler.
Before you bring out some special guests, we just want to shout out our king, Chadwick Boseman was made a Disney legend.
Yes.
What does that mean? If any of y'all know what that actually means, I'm not actually sure. Is that just something that Disney does with certain actors? Not certain. I mean, if it is, that's fantastic. I mean, I think he should be remembered.
The incredible Lord M'Baku of the Jabari tribe, Winston Duke, for the first time bringing Namor the Submariner to screen. Tenoch Huerta. And last but not least, the incredible Queen Ramonda.
Is Namor Indian? Was that what that... I don't know what they said his name was, but it sounded South Asian / potentially Middle Eastern. I'm curious about that.
Oh, we are back. We are back.
And I'm excited for my bro to look down on us and smile. So I can't wait to see you guys on November 11th.
Say hello to Mr. Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, and Kang himself, Jonathan Majors.
Nice. I gotta say, didn't love the Ant-Man and the Wasp as much as the first Ant-Man film. However, I think both of those films still have like a fun spot in my heart. I mean, definitely the first one is just so fun to me, and it's so different. So that one definitely has a special place in my heart. Second one definitely had some problems. I don't remember exactly where I put it in my ranking, but I do enjoy these characters for Wasp and Ant-Man.
We are bringing to Disney Plus our very first holiday special. It's a Halloween special called Werewolf by Night. Please welcome the director, Michael Giacchino.
I am curious as to what this show, or actually special, I guess. I don't know if it's a movie or if it's just considered a special or whatever. I am curious as to what that's going to be like, since I don't know anything about Werewolf by Night. I assume he becomes a werewolf at night. That's really all I can say. I am excited though. I mean, I like the supernatural aspects. I know we're getting Blade sometime soon. I hope we one day get Ghost Rider. I don't know if there have been any talks about that over at Marvel, but that would also be very cool. Obviously, Moon Knight is another one that I am excited for. I mean, we'll see how this goes. Moon Knight, I already saw. I was excited about it. Hopefully he comes back in like the Midnight Suns or something, but we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Don Cheadle. Now we're going to talk about two shows today, and the first one is called Secret Invasion.
I assume the other one is Armor Wars that they're going to talk about. I am excited for that one specifically because we've never really seen too much of Rhodey, and Don Cheadle, from what I understand, is a fantastic actor, so it would be very cool to see him in his show and see what that entails.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Hiddleston.
Okay.
Sophie DiMartino.
That's
Mr.
Sylvie's
Owen
actress, right?
Wilson. And introducing into the Loki family, the amazing Ke Huy Quan.
It's such an honor and pleasure to be here, to be back with Loki. And
who is that?
also
Is that
an
a
enormous
director?
pleasure
Is
for
that
me to
another
be able
actor?
to welcome Ke Huy Quan to the cast.
Wait, sorry, I'm so confused right now. Is this not the Indiana Jones panel?
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh my God.
Wait, Vincent D'Onofrio is going to be an Echo? Oh, that's going to be fantastic. I am hyped for that, okay? I mean, look, Echo was cool and all as a character in Hawkeye. However, I mean, that show itself was very convoluted in terms of pacing, story, stuff like that. So I think they just failed in a lot of ways in that show. I wish that the show was like 100 times better than it actually was, but I do think that Echo's character wasn't horrible. I just didn't love her all that much, and I think that the lack of focus in the story was potentially a reason for that, especially because there were, I feel like Yelena's character was like shoehorned in there a little bit towards like the midpoint, and I think that that very much shows, and I think that we probably could have seen a lot more of Kingpin as well as Echo in that show, and it would have made everything more coherent. Not to say I dislike Yelena Belova. I think she's a great character. However, I think that the rush there is very, very evident in that they added her later on, and I think Kevin Feige has actually mentioned that they added her to the show after Black Widow was a thing. I don't know if it was after the movie actually released, or if it was just after like everyone had worked and wrapped on that film. Either way, I mean, I think that clearly shows in the script. But that being said, I am curious at the very least to see what this show brings about. And I don't have like specific complaints about these new characters, simply because, well, we didn't know who any of the characters in the MCU were prior to them showing up within the MCU. The only exceptions to that are, you know, Spider-Man, and then the characters that were owned by other properties, you know, like the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, those guys. And so we've never really seen many situations in which we've had characters that were already at the height of popularity come in. So I don't really have any reservations about this show. I'm going to give it a chance like anything else and see how it goes.
What a journey this has been. This is only my second role I've ever had, and now I've become a lead. It's
is the actress actually deaf?
All of us has just been unbelievable, and is one that
Okay,
I'm
yeah, they also have a translator
so
for her as
and
well.
Also to
Yeah.
all of the deaf community and deaf interpreters and people who were a part of making this project.
I didn't know that she was actually deaf. I mean, that's very intriguing to me. So, I mean, good on Marvel for actually taking the time to find an actress that fit some of those disabilities, I guess, that the actual character has. So I do kind of appreciate that as well. And I'm curious to see more about that, if that's a bigger part of the journey that you'll have in the show, how that's going to impact things. Because I mean, I know in the actual Hawkeye series, she essentially treats it like not a huge deal, because she even looks down at Clint for using hearing aids as opposed to just dealing with not being able to hear. So it'll be interesting to see how big a role that plays.
To be with another actor that has the kind of talent that she does, where we're just one-on-one with each other.
Dude, D'Onofrio looks so different with hair.
It was just extraordinary.
I'm so hyped for that.
I mean, it's emotional. It's really, really emotional. What an odd feeling to have been, in some ways, been doing this for a while, and yet we're starting again.
Of course, we have a Captain America in the MCU, and Marvel Studios' Captain America: New World Order coming to theaters.
Captain America himself, Mr. Anthony Mackie. From the show, we have Danny Ramirez. We have the incredible Cara Lumley returning.
Okay, so I'm excited for this. I didn't actually know that we were going to get a Captain America film anytime soon. Maybe they did actually mention it at one of the previous announcements. I could just be blanking on that. However, I must say, I do like Anthony Mackie as Captain America. I do like that transition. The one thing I will say that I didn't love about the show was the villain, obviously, because I mean, I know that they had to change out a lot of things, because the initial storyline was, I believe, going to be a pandemic before 2020 hit, and so they had to completely rework a lot of things. However, that resulted in the main villains not having the greatest legs to stand on in terms of actual like motivations. And on the other hand, the only other piece that I would say was like not something that I'm a fan of was the big speech that we got in front of like the news or whatever at the very end of that show. I think everything with Isaiah Bradley, the Black Captain America, the initial Black Captain America, the treatment of him afterwards, like all of that was super fascinating, as well as like the insights into Falcon or Captain America's existing like situations in terms of finances, like what it's actually like to live in his shoes in the world. And so I really, really appreciated those elements. It was just those two things that bothered me. So I'm curious to see what's going to stay the same, what changes they're going to make, what's going to go on in the actual film.
Not a group,
Okay,
perhaps
the Thunderbolts
as
are
lofty
coming.
as the Avengers, but there is a group, and they're called the Thunderbolts.
Mhm.
And they are a ragtag bunch, and I want you to meet them. Starting with our director, Mr. Jake Schreier. I also want you to say hi to Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who's playing Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. We've got the
Valentina,
return
yeah.
of David Harbour as the Red Guardian from Ant-Man and the
Ooh,
Wasp.
wait, they're bringing in
Hannah
Red Guardian.
John Common as Ghost. Wyatt Russell is back
Ghost.
as John Walker, a.k.a. U.S. Agent. Also joining the Thunderbolts, Sebastian Stan. James Bucky Barnes.
I love this team. I love the Marvel Universe.
Well, listen, these are my kinds of people.
Oh my God. Oh, that's going to be fantastic. It's really, really sad that the actor who played Thunderbolt Ross has passed, because it would have been so cool to see him on screen as Ross at least one more time and potentially going down the Red Hulk path. I mean, it is truly unfortunate that we'll never see that. I would have loved to see more of that character, more of that actor throughout the rest of the MCU, because we got hints of him all throughout for the last 5, 6, 7 years, whenever Civil War, I think, came about. And since then, I've always wanted to see him come back as the Red Hulk, because that's such an iconic character. The way that he's introduced in the comics and all of that, it's so, so cool and so well done. So it is truly unfortunate that we'll never get that opportunity. However, I mean, I do understand why, and I don't necessarily think we should replace the actor in this particular situation. Perhaps maybe 5-10 years down the line we could think about it, but I think still it's like pretty fresh, and I don't think that it's worth to replace the actor considering the circumstances of his passing. It is unfortunate. However, we'll move forward, and I do think that this cast here is fantastic, and I'm super hyped for it. I mean, I never thought we'd see Ghost ever again, to be honest. I just thought she was going to disappear into the background. I didn't know we were going to get Red Guardian in the Thunderbolts. Same thing with Sebastian Stan. I mean, the Winter Soldier is such a cool character, and so potentially seeing him in this show, in this new team, is going to be fantastic. And yeah, it's just very, very cool. Also, I did think Yelena Belova was also in this team, but I guess not.
Director of the Marvels, Nia DaCosta.
So what I'm excited specifically about is Monica and as well as Kamala's characters. I'm curious to see what they do with Captain Marvel, because I think Brie Larson can still be a fantastic Captain Marvel. It just is a matter of how they deal with this next film, because if they miss her character yet again, it's gonna be like very telling that the character can't move forward within the MCU. And I think specifically like losing the lack of character, I guess, in the character, like give her an actual personality like the other two characters have. They have very clear motivations and personalities. We don't get anything remotely like that in the Captain Marvel film from Carol Danvers. So I think that if they rework or try to find a way to give Carol some real motivations, that would be fantastic. And I do think that Brie Larson is capable enough as an actress to do that. I think it's just a matter of what they decide to do with the script.
It's been amazing. Monica got a little bit of powers or something, so we're gonna see how those pop off in the Marvels. Very excited.
All right, so that was the video. I mean, I'm hyped for these projects. It's going to be very cool to see how they unfold moving forward. I have varying degrees of excitement for some things. Some things I'm more like, I'll check it out and see if I enjoy it. And other things I'm like, I know I'll probably have a good time. And I'm pretty satisfied with what we got here. And I look forward to the future of the MCU. That is all I have to say for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked the video, please like the video and subscribe for more videos from me on this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.